Hi, my name is Ted Kowalski. I'm the president of the American Culinary Federation St. Augustine chapter. We're the largest chefs organization in America. We've got 20,000 members nationally. Here in St. Augustine we have 275 members, of which we come together on a monthly basis, second Tuesday of every month from 6:30 to 8:30. And our meetings are all structured towards education. And our goals are education, certification, apprenticeship, and networking, camaraderie. Okay? So the key thing is continuing education. If you're a certified executive chef, as I am, you need to perpetuate, to maintain your certification, you need to have 80 hours of continuing education for 5 years. So to attend one of these meetings once a month, you'll pick up 1 hour. You go to a regional convention, a national convention, and you'll accumulate your 80 hours of continuing education to maintain your certification over the course of 5 years. So it's very important to us. And we like to have the subject matter be interesting and perhaps something that people aren't really familiar with. So this evening, we're here at the St. Augustine Lighthouse. We're being hosted by the Lighthouse. It's great. We've got one of their staff members who's going to be our presenter tonight. His name is Brendan Burke. He's a marine archaeologist. He's an author. He's written a wonderful book that is the complete history of the shrimping industry here in St. Augustine for the last 100 years. And it's going to be great. I cooked shrimp that were in the water yesterday morning, right from offshore. So we're eating shrimp, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to learn about the shrimping industry, and that's what this is all about. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Brendan Burke. I'm a maritime historian here at the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum. My job here is to interpret, collect, and preserve the history of St. Augustine, Northeast Florida, and its role in the commercial shrimping industry. It's an industry that changed the foodways of the United States, and a lot of that started right here with innovation about 100 years ago that ended up going to 23 countries around the world and creating new foodways that people throughout all 50 states have become accustomed to today.
The exhibit that you're inside of here is a little vignette about one of St. Augustine's most important chapters, and arguably one of St. Augustine's most important impacts on Northeast Florida, the country, and even to a greater degree, the world. And that's the history of commercial shrimping. If you rewind 120 years, 116 years back to 1900, and were to sample around the country, you could get up and fly to different cities or take the train to different cities and ask people what a shrimp was, not many people knew. It wasn't something that was easy to transport without a high degree of preservation, and preserved shrimp are obviously not as good as fresh steamed shrimp like we had tonight. You can preserve them, but they go from being a top grade food down to kind of almost like a sardine. Boats built in St. Augustine were shipped to 23 countries around the world to start commercial fishing fleets. We weren't a small town with a small fishing community. We were exporting big ideas, big concepts, and the big boats that could make you pretty well off if you hit it right and didn't have your boat sink. The boat builders here in town never had to do much in the way of advertising because they never built boats on speculation. People came here and would get in line to buy boats. And if you were ahead of me online, and when you weren't looking, I gave the boat builder an extra $20,000, I might get your boat. So, I mean, people were really clamoring to get into that industry, and it started here in Northeast Florida. I can't ever forget Fernandina, but really kind of matured. So if you think of the industry, it was born in Fernandina, it grew up in St. Augustine, and then its adolescence and its adulthood has been shared around the world. I'm happy to entertain any questions you have. I've only touched on a few little things.